You know, one of the questions that keeps coming up is the fact that the Senate passed a comprehensive immigration bill. One, I would not vote for that bill for two reasons. One, it's a large comprehensive bill, and I believe wholeheartedly that immigration reform is multiple issues and needs multiple bills that need to be voted on. So rather than one large bill, multiple different bills addressing the immigration reform that's needed. But also because the Senate bill really moves towards a plan of citizenship for those who are here illegally, and I'll even say amnesty. And that I do not support. Well, it's a hot button issue. It's a politically hot button issue, and depending on where you are on the issue of immigration and those who are coming here, those who might come here illegally across the border, it either you view it as working in your favor or working against you. There has to be a reason that for 30 years we haven't addressed this issue. And there again, I don't blame one party or the other. We've seen presidencies, Republican and Democrat, avoid this issue. But now we see that the problem has escalated to a level that it has to be dealt with.
So what are your ideas?
Well, number one, first of all, when we're talking about immigration reform, border security has to be the first part of it that's dealt with. There are laws that are already on the books that are not being enforced, that need to be enforced. So we can start there. Well, I mean, just the border security and how the border security is carried out with our border patrol, and just there again, even when we're talking about local law enforcement that's involved in this issue, when we're talking about the border states. But secondly, there are areas of the border that are vulnerable, and not necessarily areas that individuals can be vigilant. So that's where technology comes in. After 13 years of war, we have incredible technology and the ability to have surveillance in those areas and be able to act.
So we're talking about drone patrols on the border?
Oh, I don't know if I would go that far to say that. I don't necessarily want to say that, but like I said, what I want to say is just, they're, again, from the surveillance, and I'll leave it at that. The other issue that has now complicated this situation are those who are coming from Central America. And they're coming right across the border. They're basically seeking out the Border Patrol so that they can essentially walk up and say, okay, we're here. Take us to the detention center. That's taking our Border Patrols that are there off the border, and now they're something like 70% are now off the border dealing with these coming from Central America in the detention centers. So that's obviously left the border even more porous at this point. So I do believe, and one of the things that we passed again before we left Washington was a very strong bill that deals with this particular issue with funding, but also to bring the National Guard to the border as a temporary effort until we can build up more Border Patrol.